Hello there, fans, geeks, and fantasy lovers. It's your friendly neighborhood bearded vet again. Oh, I need to get to a hair salon soon. Get my hair cut, my beard trimmed a little bit. It's getting kind of crazy. And like everybody else out there, we're just trying to live through this shitty time, right? Hope you're all staying safe, staying healthy. Please like, share, subscribe. Today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I want to go over my Netflix. I'm going to do my top 5 favorite TV shows, live action, and my top 5 worst. So, because I know some of you are still stuck inside. Maybe you're trying to think of what to watch. Maybe you're trying to figure out something new. And these aren't one of them might be like a mainstream everybody knows about. A couple. But there are a couple that actually surprised me, that I actually enjoyed, and some of them I was really not happy with. So, let's get started. Alright, for my top 5 favorite, let's do my favorite first, so we can start off with a highlight. Legacies is my number 5, is Legacies. If you don't know what Legacies is, it's a offshoot to the originals, which is my number 4. It's a very interesting, because the originals have 5 seasons, and Legacies has 2. You want to watch the originals first, because the originals is all about this vampire family and their struggles in New Orleans. They're returning, because one is a vampire dude that's kind of fucking around, so they had to go and smack down. The originals it's pretty much, it follows the family of the original vampires. Yeah, you're thinking, this is like Twilight. Actually, no. This is actually a really good vampire show. If you're looking for something dark and interesting with actual monsters, witches, werewolves, and the originals actually, they have some episodes that kind of suck, but for the most part, the originals are really good. And Legacies is about one of the main characters' daughter, and it follows her. She becomes a very important person at the end of the originals. So Legacy is actually pretty good. It's interesting to see all the different monsters, and they look human, but they have powers. Some are sirens, some are one's a descendant of Medusa. There's all kinds of crazy things. And it's just interesting, So now I did number 4. 3 is Frontier. I was really surprised by Frontier. It has the guy who played Aquaman, and he played in Stargate Atlantis. Momoa, I can never say his name. Jason Momoa, something like that. I'm sorry, I screwed. It has 3 seasons. It's like colonial America. And it follows him in the fur trade. It deals with one of the companies from England that are kind of twisted and messed up. And it has where he was raised by this one guy, and then he went into the world, helped learn the Indian way, married an Indian, and then the company got mad at him, and they killed his wife and kid. And so he's on revenge for it. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It's one of those things you gotta just kind of get into. So yeah, if you really want to get into something, number 2, Ash vs. Evil Dead. I like the movies, but the show is so good. It is so dark, twisted, but funny as shit. If you want a good laugh with monsters and demons and some fucking twisted, creepy humor, Ash vs. Evil Dead. There are 3 seasons, and I really enjoyed it. It was definitely really, really good. And if you like that genre, the Ash vs. Evil Dead, and the complete foolishness, but yet dark and creepy, it's funny. Definitely check it out. On number 1, I have 2. I couldn't decide which one I liked more. The Witcher, which is fantastic. I love The Witcher, and I love Henry Cavill is a fantastic actor, and he's one of us. He's a fan who really loved The Witcher, so he wanted to do it right, and I'm glad they did it right. And the second one, and there's only one season of that because it just came out, and it's pretty popular, so it's like a mainstream one. But there's another one that I really enjoy. It's called Lucifer. Like, if you guys haven't seen this, Lucifer, the TV show. At first, I didn't want to watch it. You know, I'm a pastor's kid. Satan is evil to me, and I didn't want them to make Lucifer into a hero. I didn't want to see that, but I sucked it up, and I actually watched it. There are 4 seasons, and it is actually really good. Yeah, they do turn Lucifer into a type of, he's not so horrible. He is evil, but he's not really pure evil. He just kind of fucked up. And he has like this daddy issue with God. He doesn't like God because he's too much like a controlling dad. It's interesting. It's actually a very interesting show. So if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest to go see it. It's actually really good. And we're hoping for another season. A lot of people want a 5th season. And they teased it. So hopefully we get one. Because they did end it in a way it could end. But the show is so good that people want another season. And I have a little an interesting show. It's not really my favorite or my worst, but it's it's really good, like historical documentary style thing. It's called Myths and Monsters. If you like, because I like a lot of like monsters and fantasy and stuff like that. Myths and Monsters delves a lot into our actual myths, into like lore of our history, and like where these monsters came from, what it could have been, all that stuff. So yeah, now to move on to more disappointing stuff. My 5 hated or just disappointed. One kind of disappointed me. The number 5, I didn't like it. Let's just say I didn't hate it, but it just kind of was like, oh, it could have been so much better. Is the Serena Chronicles. It's a very fantasy style show. It's got like elves and stuff like that, but it's just, The Witcher did it way better. Like, if you want to go into a fantasy world with fantasy characters, you need to have just something. The Witcher did it. It was interesting. It had a good world build. This one didn't. The world building just kind of just fell flat. And it was like, hey, we got an evil dude who wants to kill everything. And yeah, it didn't work. It was kind of sad. I thought it might have potential, and it just kind of died. 4, this one was a massive disappointment to me. Dracula. I was like, ooh, a show with, the Dracula. I was hoping it was like, something really dark and mysterious. And it turned to being like this really woke-ass show, and it just sucked. I was like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, Dracula sucked. My third worst, Flash. Now, I liked the first season. And I liked the second season a little bit, not as much as the first. And I thought they picked a good actor. But then it just repeated itself constantly. It was like, hey, Barry, don't go back in time because you'll fuck up history. Hey, Barry, stop fucking up history. Barry, come on, every season. And then every season they build a new bad guy who is pretty much the Flash. They have, the first season is against his main bad guy. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. The Yellow Flash. It's not really Flash. It's Zoom. Is it Zoom? No, it's not Zoom. I'll have to think about it. For some reason, it's escaping me. I'm a big fan of the Flash's comics, and I like a lot of that stuff. But yeah, that sucked. It was like, just, you need to think of something better. And then they did the whole God of speed, and it turned out that should be emo him. And it's like, oh my god, come on. And my stepson loves it. That's good for him. But I just, you gotta come up with something better than him just fucking up the timeline. That's what they did. He keeps going back in time because he wants to save his mom, or he wants to save this, or do this, and he just non-stop fucks. He literally fucks it up so bad that Arrow one of these characters in Arrow has a son, and then he has a daughter, and then he's pissed because he had a son and now he doesn't, and then now it's his daughter, and it's like whatever. So yeah, 2 Supergirl, that was fucking horrible. I thought it had potential in the first season, and then just went on straight woke, like garbage woke. And like they had to tear down Superman to make her better. It didn't work at all. And that also, Batgirl was fucking horrible. I don't even have that on the list because it's not on Netflix. So yeah, it was bad. Ooh. Yeah. Number 1 most hated show, Serena. For God's sake, I don't even know where to start with this fucking show. Like, I love the original Serena. The cat is my favorite character of all time. The talking cat. And they fucking, oh my god, they didn't even keep the cat. They have a cat, but it's like this creepy fucking monster. And they went into this whole thing where she's like the daughter of Satan. Then she's gonna become his lover, or something. I don't even know. It just became so fucking bad. And some of them are cool. Some of the episodes are actually pretty decent, and they had potential. So this is why I don't like these ones, because they have potential, and then they fuck up what was good in the original. They had a talking cat. It didn't go with one of her friends is like a lesbian who wants to be a boy and then uses magic to turn herself into a boy. No, you didn't even need that. It was like this whole offshoot character that just nobody really cared about, and I don't know, it just didn't work. And yeah, the whole thing, and the devil, I don't know, it had potential. I wish they would just release the original. That would be so cool. If Netflix could get the deal where they can get the original Serena and put that on there, that'd be fantastic. I would watch the shit out of that. That and Buffy, man. I wish they could get Buffy on Netflix. That'd be sick. But yeah, so that's just, that's what I want to do my video on. Just some shows that are really good and some shows that just aren't. You can watch them, and then you can, tell me what you thought. The comics, or this is just my opinion. Some people could like some of the stuff. Some things for instance, the show Once Upon a Time. I liked the first season. I thought it had this cool fairy tales or real life. This town. I thought it was kind of interesting, and it just got really boring. For me, my wife loved it. My stepdaughter, and my wife watched the shit out of that show. I didn't. I couldn't stand it. After a while, I was just like, okay, yeah, that was cool, and then I kind of just lost interest. And yeah, but yeah. So those are the some, they're not like mainstream TVs. Some of them. So a lot of people probably overlook them, like, oh, vampires, whatever, lovey-dovey crap. It was pretty good. So yeah. All right. Well, you guys enjoy. Stay safe. Stay, healthy. Victory for the Snyders. I'm glad for you guys. I truly am. I don't want to pretend like I was out there throwing the hashtag around like crazy, but I did support them. I did support their cause. I said, I might not have liked all of what Snyder have done. I did last night. I went and watched Wonder Woman and Man of Steel in celebration for it, just to rewatch it again to see what it was like. to revisit it, and it was really good. Those movies were really freaking good. I liked them. I know a lot of people didn't like how many people got killed, and I kind of see why he did it, because if you really think about it in real life, if Superman and the other dude fought, if the guy refused to leave a city, that city's gonna be destroyed. These are two powerhouses going at each other, and we're gonna just get caught in the middle. So it was kind of interesting. But anyways, enjoy. Have a good time. See you next time.